Welcome to our HeadGames Motorworks 2JZ series. Today in this episode, you're going to be learning all about the differences in the 2JZ cores. If you want to see more episodes like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button.
The 2JZ is mostly known for its turbo GTE platform that powers all of the fastest 2JZ cars in the world. But there is actually 4 castings to choose from. Let's take a look and see what makes them different from each other. First up is the 2JZ GE head. This head comes from a naturally aspirated version of the 2J. It has a rectangular shaped intake port, a round entrance, a semi-straight exhaust port, and a smaller combustion chamber with a recess around the outer diameter that measures 55 cc's. Unlike any of the other 2JZ cores, it has a provision for a distributor. Next, on the naturally aspirated 2JZ line is the GE VVTi head. Dimensionally, the head appears the same as its earlier GE brother, but with some big differences. Toyota did away with the distributor and added variable valve timing on the intake. The number 1 cam cap on the intake side is utilized as a part of the VVTi system, so you will notice the length of the journal is longer. Toyota also slightly shrunk the intake port, but kept the same exhaust port and combustion chamber. Most will swap these engines out for its GTE counterpart, but the GE is actually no slouch. We have seen upwards of 1,500 wheel horsepower with HeadGames equipped GE heads. Plentiful cheap intake ports raised 1.5 inches, straight round exhaust port, and less quench from the GTE head makes it a great choice for making some serious horsepower on a budget. Next up on the VVTi line is the GTE. The T stands for turbo. The GTE VVTi head was the only head in our lineup that was not available in the USA. It has the same cam caps as the GE VVTi head, but that's where the similarities end. The intake port is noticeably larger, oval, and closer to the deck surface. The exhaust ports are oval-shaped, and you will notice that there are 3 different shaped ports that mirror each other from end to end. The casting is taller in the bucket area, creating less clearance for the cams with high lift, which would require machining. This is an important consideration when purchasing cams for this core. And finally, the GTE head. This is the almighty cylinder head that has wowed the world by powering some of the fastest cars on the planet, most notably the MK4 Supra. The GTE shares all of the same port characteristics of the GTE VVTi, but without the variable valve timing. Without the variable valve timing, you don't have the camshaft duration or spring pressure limitations, which is what makes the GTE the head of choice for high horsepower applications. On the flow bench, surprisingly, there is only 10 CFM difference between the GE and the GTE cores. Fun fact, the GTE flows 10 CFM better on the intake than the GE, and on the exhaust side, the GE flows 10 CFM better than the GTE. Stay tuned for our next episode.